always think, I wish I had a camera to take his picture. My God, I found finally he realized I have some intelligence, maybe. And he came to American University commencement. He wanted to be sure I'm not lying. And it was a very strange, it's a poetic justice. That day, one of his friends from Syria, who was a scholar, was speaking at the commencement. Of course, he knew me, and when I was about to come down with my diploma, my BA, he just extended his hand to congratulate me. And they took that picture by Washington Post, and the only picture in the first page of Washington Post was me and Dr. Malak was his name. Well, I thought, well, at least I confronted that discrimination and I become successful. Now, I want to go to graduate school. And I just thought I love to work as a lawyer, especially defending women around the world, because I am a woman and I always face with discrimination. So I went and I passed the examination to enter the law school at American University. 2 weeks later, they wrote me a letter and said, yes, you passed the test, but we cannot accept you because the quota is full. What is quota? We only accept 10 women a year. I said, this is the most stupid law I ever heard. If I pass the test, what difference does it make whether I am 11 or 12 or 13? Then I saw in 60s, 70s, the women were not allowed to men subject. This is the same law this year passed in Iran by mullahs, that the women cannot go to the men's subject. Because all the universities were 65% women. And most universities in science, physics, chemistry, doctor, medicine, they are full of women and not many men. Now they want to cut women off again. Well, the only thing was available to me, it was a teacher or a nurse or a secretary or library science. Well, I couldn't become a nurse because I didn't have the stamina. I couldn't be a teacher because, as you can see, I still have an accent. So I became a librarian. And when I finished library science, the Library of Congress came to school and hired me and 2 young men to become librarian at the Library of Congress, and promised 3 of us, grade 9. But when I went to sign my contract, it was grade 7. I said, why I'm grade 7? Why these 2 young men, they don't know any other language but English? I know French, I know Farsi, and I can read Arabic. Oh, well, we will change it after 6 months. I say, these are all excuses to stop a woman. I am not going to work in an institution who give me discrimination. I tore the contract and I left, and I didn't sell my soul. Therefore, I joined NOW, N-O-W, National for the women. That was the second wave of the women's liberation was taking place in the United States. I walked side by side with Betty Friedan, Shirley Chisholm, Gloria Steinem, and Bella Abzur, all the head of the movement. But still discrimination continues. And I greatly believe if we women do not get into politics and decision making, we always be subjugated to the husband or brother or father or society. It was really very hard because I have now a husband who was completely against me to be in politics. Well, I wasn't in politics, but then I became an activist and a feminist. And we organized in 1972, 72 women from all over the United States, black and white, invited to organize National Women Political Caucus. 71 American and 1 immigrant, and that was me. The same year, we organized all around United States National Women Political Caucus. And women, only 1% of women were in politics. The same year jumped to 14%. And today, the women can be locally or federally run for an office. And now we come to not only political, we have to go on and testify. We wanted to see that what is going on here. This is United States, the land of freedom, I heard it was. How come they do that to women? Then we realize and we research and find out that in the South, like Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, and Texas, still Napoleonic law prevailed to handing women. Napoleonic law means 0 for women. If man died, women also lose even driver's license. So we asked President Kennedy in the 60s to do something about women. He organized a commission and put Eleanor Roosevelt at the head of the commission of men and women look into the situation of the right of women. After a year or year and a half, they went back. Kennedy still was in White House and he was assassinated. Eleanor Roosevelt shows between the distance between the sky and earth. The women have no right. Therefore, we had to know to testify. And how many times I had with others go up the step of the Congress, up and down, to testify for the Women's Rights Commission and subcommittee. God knows, I didn't count them. And legislation after legislation passed by Congress to allow women to go to any subject they want to use in their life. I was standing one time, not too long ago, last year, from 18, 19, 20 years old woman in a college who studied the women's study. And I said, everything you have today, you owe it to my generation. We work very hard, day and night, to make it possible that today You can become an architect and a doctor and scientist and even go to moon and come back. Our time, we were not that lucky. Therefore, although we passed the Women Amendment from the Congress, but we needed 37 states to sign up for it. And unfortunately, we couldn't get it. It takes 1 year, and we did not receive it accepted by the state to become equal right with men. Today, still there are discrimination. There is not complete equality between man and woman. I hope one day I will see that happen, because women are half of this country. I always believed a woman have to have education. Without education, a woman is nobody. Therefore, my invited to 2 women conference this year, one in Washington, D.C., and one in Irvine. I'd say I wrote my book is a tribute to my father, but really I wanted to dedicate my book to women everywhere, not only in the East or South, but West and Europe and so on. I am researching right now for my future book, the state of women around the world. My God, I get sometimes the most terrifying things. For instance, in Jordan, even today, and in Middle East, if a man dreams that his wife or his mother or his daughter having an affair, and he goes the next day and kills that woman, the law say nothing. Can you believe it? This has happened now on 21st century. The age of the women, although we live longer than men, in Africa is 35 years. The women work in the field, and when come home, they have to cook. And the best part of the food goes to the husband, then children, then her. So most of these poor women died before they reached 35. It's still going on. My work has not ended and probably never ends. One day somebody asked me, when are you going to retire? I said, one day around the world somewhere. When I am fighting for a liberal cause, I fall down from exhaustion and then I die.